Argeliers is a French commune in the Aude department in the Languedoc-Roussillon region of southern France. The inhabitants of the commune are known as Argeliésois or Argeliésoises. Geography. Argeliers is part of the urban area of Narbonne, located on the southern edge of the Haut-Minervois and in the north of the fertile sedimentary plain of Narbonne, 22 km west by southwest of Béziers and 16 km northwest of Narbonne at the foot of the first foothills north of the plain of Narbonne. The northern border of the commune is the border between Aude and Hérault departments. Access to the commune is by the D5 road from Capestang in the east, passing through the commune south of the village and continuing to Hautes-Minervois in the west. Access to the village is by the D326 from Mappiassat in the south, intersecting the D5 and continuing to the village, then northeast. The D3648 comes from Argeliers in the north, changing to the D426 at the border and continuing to join the D5 southwest of the village. The D826 also connects the village to the D5. The village residential area covers about a quarter of the commune, with forests along the western border, and the rest of the commune is farmland. The Canal du Midi forms part of the eastern border of the commune, passing through the commune east of the village, where there are mooring facilities, known as Port d'Argeliers. Other streams passing through the commune near the canal include the Ruisseau des Gours and the Ruisseau de Rose. Neighboring communes and villages. History. The Argeliers Committee on the 11th of March 1907, a signal for revolt was given by a group of Minervois winemakers in the village of Argeliers. They were led by Marcellin Albert and Elie Bernard, who founded the Committee for the Defensive Winemaking of the Argeliers Committee. He organized a march with 87 winemakers to Narbonne for an interview with the Parliamentary Commission. After his depositions, the Defense Committee went around the town singing for the first time La Vigneronne, which from that day became the anthem of the Beggars' Revolt. Elie Bernard was later appointed Secretary-General of the Confédération Générale des Vignerons du Midi. It was the Argeliers Committee, which included all the producers, who prepared a response to the crisis. On the 14th of March, Albert Sarraud from Bordeaux, Senator for Aude and Under-Secretary of State for the Interior, was admonished by Clemenceau for trying to plead for his electorate. "I know the Midi. It will all end with a banquet," he said to Clemenceau, who was then president of the council which sat at Beauvau in the Ministry of Interior. On the 24th of March, a first meeting organized by the Argeliers Committee was held at L'Îles d'Aude in front of 300 people. Marcellin Albert was noted for his oratory and charisma. For the winemakers present, he became the Apostle, the King of Beggars, or the Redeemer. The principle of holding a meeting every Sunday in a different town was adopted. On the 21st of April, 10 to 15,000 growers gathered at Capestang. On that Sunday, the first issue of Tocsin was published by the Argeliers Committee. This was a weekly paper directed by Marcellin Albert, with Louis Blanc writing. This issue contained an address to Parliament to have a law voted against fraud, heraldry, administration, list of successive mayors, demography. In 2009, the commune had 1,683 inhabitants. The evolution of the number of inhabitants is known from the population censuses conducted in the commune since 1793. For the 21st century, a census of communes with fewer than 10,000 inhabitants is held every 5 years. Unlike larger towns that have a sample survey every year. Population change sources. LDHEHESS Cassini until 1962. INSEE database from 1968. Economy, viticulture, Minervois and Languedoc sites and monuments. The Château of Argeliers is listed as an historical monument. The monumental fountain of Vendanger in the Place du Vendanger is registered as an historical object. The church and cemetery contain several items that are registered as historical objects: a monument to Raphael, a monument to Caban Didier, a painting, the Resurrection, an altar, retable, and painting, the Crucifixion. Notable people linked to the commune: Marcelin Albert, leader of the winemakers of Midi Revolt in 1907. He was born and died in the village and is buried in the cemetery there. A village square is named in his honor. Elie Bernard, another leader of the winemakers' revolt in Languedoc in 1907 with Richard and Cathala. At the start in Argeliers, imprisoned in Béziers prison with Dr. Ernest Ferraud, deputy mayor of Narbonne with Richard and Cathala, appointed director of the union newspaper Winemakers' Action, then Secretary General of the General Confederation of Winemakers, died in 1935. Etienne Bons, international rugby player born in Argeliers. Leon Cordes, writer, ran a theatre troupe in Argeliers. Max Rocater, a contemporary Occitan writer, was born in Argeliers in 1908.